Hey there. If you want different output, that requires that different input happens on the front end. So, if you want to be a writer and your goal is to write a book, and you've been trying for a year, and at the end of that year you don't have anything on paper, if you do that same thing the next year, you're insane if you think that you're going to end up with a book at the end of the year. So hopefully before a year is over, but at any point when you come to the self-awareness required for change, hopefully you'll start to take steps to do so, because you realize that the results aren't going to differ if what you're putting in doesn't change. Another one of those countless things that's easy to say, but it's really hard to actually shift gears. We're creatures of habit. When we find something that fits into our day, something that we get accustomed to doing, we stick with it. And this is good if it works, but if it doesn't work for you, it's really not good. It's extremely not good, because you're wasting your time, or at least you're wasting some of your time not doing not just what's optimal, but something that actually works, right? If it works, great, you can optimize later. But if it doesn't actually produce anything like what you're hoping to produce, well, that shit needs to change. And immediately, right? Now you have to give things their due time. Trying something out once and saying, well, fuck that, I'm never doing that again because I didn't end up with a book by the end of the day, or a few pages written. I mean, you can be too hasty with that. So give stuff its due time, but once you've been doing something for a while, you should start to see something, producing something, you know? And writing a book is nice because it's like, that's a nice example, because words on paper, right? That's the currency there. If you're not getting that, you should really be able to see how long it's going to take you to finish that book after you've been doing it for a few weeks. So, in that example, try writing at a different time of day. Try maybe you're not writing about the right thing. Try writing about something you actually care about. Every example is going to have a different thing that needs changed, but ultimately it's on you to find that. There's a billion different ways to write a book. Actually, there's probably 8 billion or 7 billion, as many ways as there are people, right? So, there may be things that work better for a majority of people, but that doesn't matter, because you're not a majority of people. You're an individual, and you need to figure out what works for you. It doesn't matter what works for somebody else. Now, it's not wrong to look at others for different ideas for things you can try, methods, mindsets you can adopt and test out to see if that also works for you. But don't get hung up in